Well, I'm back. We're here. Another episode of 2236 AD. We got things started last time with prologue, and that took place on May 1st, 2234. And when we got to the end of the episode, we jumped to what looks to be a flashback that is going to be taking place on April 7th, 2231. So we'll go ahead and just jump right into things. I assume things are pretty easy to kind of follow right now. Nothing seems too crazy that we might need to refer to the glossary for, so I guess we'll go ahead and jump right in. Also, my air conditioner's on. You can probably hear it because it's freaking hot in this room right now. And I'm not gonna say I don't sweat for my content. This shit's easy breezy. Let's go. Oh, cool. It just jumps us there. Cool. April 7th, 2231. A new semester. I've quickly gone through puberty and soaked in the sea of ether. That's a good way to... That's how I described puberty, yes. It's not as if it's boring, but I feel like I've accomplished everything there is to do. I mean, yeah, like once you get... once you get hair on your dick and balls, what else do you need, right? Even the emotional yo-yo of switching classes for the new year feels irrelevant. I feel totally detached from this fleeting world. Telepathy, or strictly speaking, HT, I suppose. Due to HT development taking such great strides, today's world is entirely different educational standards than yesterday's. Students back in the day were more childish, I guess. My points of comparison are kids from before Paradigm Lost, though, so it doesn't quite resonate. Paradigm Lost supposedly had happened about 200 years ago. The legend of the goddess Siri Shion, symbol of humanity's wisdom. She left us a series of publications called the Akashic Phone. Filled to the brim with these publications is the city known as the Archive. Oh, we're getting all the stuff we may need to look up now. Oh dear. It is said that they are the only publications left that detail the Earth before Paradigm Lost. The records of Earth, the memories of the human race, all stopped at once 200 years ago. The only thing that serves as a bridge between us and any memories or records is the Akashic Phone. In other words, things like mathematics and physics that we learn in school today are all things that were written in a book among a pile of publications. Yeah, it's a very romanticized idea. While romanticism is all well and good, our collective minds have matured. Is there any need to go through the effort of formal education like the Akashic Phone says we did to build human relationships? That sounds silly even now. With the development of the HT coming this far in the world, I can only see entrenched communities as nothing more than shackles holding people back. That's right. Just like a flame ablaze, those are the words of Heraclitus. Huh? Even the bonds between people ebb and flow. What a cruel fate. This is the feeling of switching classes. It's a very introspective and outrospective way of looking at, changing classes. Whatever gets you through the day. While I've been sulking, there have been niceties like nice to meet you, and in the same class again I see, flying left and right in the classroom. To have them recognize me, I must recognize them. It's a form of ritual. It's a bore, but I participate. I answer each greeting habitually. That's when I stumble into an abnormality. There is a hole, a single solitary place where pleasantries aren't flying to and fro. It's around her. Round face and short hair, the female student takes her seat with her gate closed. With her gate closed? She's a strange one. I do get that introducing yourself can be a pain in the butt, but closing off your gate is truly preposterous. Or rather, it's impossible. I've never seen a person like that before. Or more specifically, close. Pardon? consciously locks one's selective elements syndrome, known in acronym form as CLOSE, or CLOSE, probably CLOSE. It literally means what it says. It's a syndrome where you deliberately lock off selective elements about yourself. It's a conscious closed gate disorder. So in short, an acquired gate handicap in which once it's closed, it stays closed and won't open up. Selective elements meaning gates. That's right. It's an odd term for them, but even with cutting-edge neuroscience, we still have no idea what the things we're labeled as gates really are. What kind of disease is it? It's a mental disorder. Psychological, you mean? That makes it sound so cold. At least say emotional. They lock themselves off into a shell because they hate communicating with people? That's probably one of the causes, yes. Telepathy is an excellent tool for communication, but anything and everything flows into your mind. That includes things you'd rather not hear and things you'd rather not know. Senpai? Medical science has done a good job in compiling that together. Why was her gate closed? It was, as I was spacing out, someone told me. Apparently, she closed off her gate ever since she came to school that morning, sending a slight stir through the rumor mill already. Some were concerned, but since she kept her gate closed, no one could go up and talk to her. In which case, you could easily verbally communicate with her, but there was no one who was willing to take the initiative and do something that out of the way while being in the same classroom. It's unsettling. Gloomy. She's a gloomy Gus! We need to turn her into a happy Harry. The terrible thing about clothes is that not many people know about it relative to the number of people who are afflicted with it. So it's not well known then. I mean, I didn't know about it either, so yeah. Especially because kids like us were born into a telepathic society. We lack a way to feel pain by, say, learning something that we didn't want to know in the first place. That's why I can't sympathize. Probably. First, I don't think anyone is diseased. Lots of people are thought of as eccentrics and weirdos, including people who are always reflecting on history like me, or people who obsess over music. Yeah, music people are definitely weird. I say that as a music person, but whew, you just called yourself a weirdo. Well, to be honest, what I just said about the origins of clothes doesn't seem to have persuaded you any. This telepathy, as we call it, is said to link our minds with those of others, but it's not as though we can see all of what's in a person's mind. It's because we can only read formatted information or something like that. For example, we wouldn't be able to read sentences in a foreigner's mind, not unless you know the language. Even with one of your own countrymen, as long as their thoughts aren't in the form of words, you'll only be able to see cursory things like excitement or boredom. But how does that relate? I fucking hate you. So as long as you keep your gate open and you don't say that, you can't hurt somebody's feelings, or so I think. Ah, I see. So while it's called telepathy, on a fundamental level, it's really no different from vocal communication. You're hearing something that you don't want to hear and are getting hurt, so you can develop clothes. It's a bit hard to swallow, isn't it? True, and the consciously part is somewhat strange too. I've been thinking that maybe the cause lies in something else. That said, Senpai, you know an awful lot about all of this, don't you? My younger sister, she has clothes. Oh. The next day, and even the day after that, she kept her gate closed. The rumor mill cranked into overdrive, not caring about her feelings. After all, none of it would ever reach her. Dang, dude. Her gate remained closed. Okay. Oh, are we getting an opening? All right, second episode, everybody. We got our OP. Let's just sit back and enjoy. That was really good. That was really good. Visual novel OPs can be really cool sometimes, and I really love how they kind of have to put them together a lot of the times with the static graphics and stuff, and then just go crazy with filters and camera cuts and things. Phase 1, the girl, the sundae, and the screwdriver. All right, it looks like if I would have just kept playing another 10 minutes, we would have gotten out of the prologue in the last episode. But that's just how it's gonna go, because I'm not paying attention to this shit. I've never played this game before, so I don't know how to split it into proper chapters and whatever. So we're just gonna roll with that, and let's see. We'll go ahead and drop a save here. Okay, April 7th, 2231. Okay. Hey, it's you. She's cute. Oh my god, look at her. Adorable. Hello? Are we just gonna, is it just look at this girl? Is that all we're gonna do? I have these buttons here. I'll press this though. I'll do that. Oh, okay. Round face and short hair. That female student takes her seat with her gate closed. She sticks out like a sore thumb like this. I wish she would just speak normally. Is she not feeling well, or maybe she's sleep deprived? Either way, it's not enough reason to keep her gate under constant lock and key. It's a little concerning. There's class changes in the spring, and now a weirdo is in the classroom. And then another weirdo shows their face. Hello, weirdo. Oh, you definitely got the look of a weirdo to you. Everybody, it's Ritsuki Shiraishi. Due to the various circumstances, I can't use telepathy, but pleased to make your acquaintance anyway. Oh, damn, another one! What's this guy's deal? Here I am thinking about the weird girl who can't open her gate, and now we got a weird boy with the same thing that's transferring into class? Now my attention is focused solely on the transfer student walking over and only half listen to what our new homeroom teacher has to say. But still, what's this guy's deal? Seriously, what is it? I think we explained what clothes is. Shiraishi. Okay. I told you I was gonna do it. I told you I was gonna start reading fucking names because they're over here and they're not in the fucking text box. Nice to meet you. To make matters worse, he's sitting in the seat right behind me. Ah, that's right. The roster list seats in seat order. Tell me your name. Me? Is he talking to me? No, first I asked the name of the person beside you, not in front of you. Okay. Come on! Oh, stop that! I can feel everyone in class beating me down with their stares. Using your voice is already the most conspicuous thing that you could conceivably do, so why do you have to bring all this attention by talking to me? I mean, why are you using your voice? Why won't you open your gate? He said that he couldn't use telepathy when he introduced himself, right? Since you're being asked, why not just answer it? That's mean. Uh-huh, it is. It's kind of mean. Why am I the mean one here? It's someone else's problem, not mine. Dude, come on, stop being a dick. Like, the dude literally told everybody, hey, guys, I can't use my gate, and I just want to know your name. There's no reason to be this much of a dick face. All this fucking telepathy's made people kind of real shitheads. You know, when you talk to people, feel like you're creating more of a tangible connection, but if you're just kind of sitting there thinking thoughts at each other, you're not really forming much of a bond, maybe. And then there's her. Not a single person is trying to get involved with her. I don't know, she looks cool. I would try to get involved with her. I'd be like, hey, what up? Let us talk. Tell me about your favorite Pokemon cards. That is a lie. I would never ask anybody their favorite Pokemon cards because I think Pokemon is the stupidest thing on the planet. I turn back and he's smiling at me. Name's Shiraishi. My name's Yotsuba. Pantare. That's what it says down there at the bottom behind my big dumb head. I was really put into a tough spot this morning. Is that so? I had the worst luck. Well, what happened exactly? I'm not telling you of all people. It's personal information. Is that so? Ah, jeez. It's so stupid. Why can't you use telepathy? That's because telepathy, or rather the phenomenon known as HT, travels deep into a human's brain, and I'm not talking about you. My apologies. I've never expected a mechanical doll like you to have telepathy in the first place. My apologies. Oh, don't call her a mechanical doll. She's more than that. She's a cute mechanical doll, if anything. This is an AI secretary for smart tools targeted towards individuals. That's all the rage nowadays. I made the effort to get it right away, but can't use it much. They're selling high-tech AIs, but if it only has verbal recognition, then conversation as a whole hits a standstill. Chatting with an AI is something a gloomy Gus would do, and I'm a happy Harry, as we determined in the previous episode. Apparently they say that AIs have hearts or something like that, but honestly, it's just plain creepy. Well, I guess you're playing your hand now. That's definitely gonna be a thing that we talk about and mull over with this game, isn't it? They're just dolls, simple as that. I was really put in a tough spot this morning. Gosh, really hard for me. The two kids that can't use telepathy and probably are gonna have a hell of a harder time fitting in at school. Fuck those assholes. I have to talk to them. God, would somebody please think of me once? That girl too. Okay. Well, I guess I jumped. I guess I jumped the horse before the cart there a little bit. What the heck is up with her? And all right, April 8th, 2231. Him. It's like Newman. Shiraishi. Hey, Yotsuba, let's eat lunch together. Lunch? No, I'll pass. Why not? You're by yourself, aren't you? Like I said, don't talk so loudly, you'll draw a crowd. I'm fine by myself. No, you aren't. Who are you to judge? He's funny. Funny, but a disaster. I think that describes me. I think that I've never seen a combination of words on a PC monitor more accurately describe me than funny, but a disaster. You shouldn't be using that word, disaster. Weren't you listening? I don't think it's a problem. I mean, about him, not the other guy. Anyone want to swap out with me? You see, that and this, two separate matters. Yep, I see. I stand up from my seat. Well, where are you going? To pick some flowers. In the end, Shiraishi has taken a liking to me and won't ease up. Apparently, those guys in my class must think it a convenient turn of events and are trying to push Shiraishi onto me. I would rather they push her towards me, though. I don't want to be around the fucking sausage fest over here. That's not what I'm looking for. Her? From yesterday to today and all through the day, there's been no sign that she'll open her gate. My guy! Give up the ghost on this! It's been this way for a while, with Shiraishi's appearance having more impact on the class. No one has said anything about her anywhere. What's her name again? Not something she can tell us unless she speaks. Her gate's still closed. Just a guy is just like doing a gate check every 10 seconds, just tapping the fucking firewall. Just like, hey, open up! Open that gate! I want all up inside it! Let me all up inside that gate! Alright, after school. Hey, Yotsuba, let's head back together. Go back by yourself. She's already gone home. What are you doing? I'm trying to search through the desk's memories. It's a little bit of a sudden impulse, but I put my hand on her desk and try to link with it. I think there might be an off chance that I'll be able to read something about her from this desk. This is kind of weird because I'm playing another game right now called Unreal Life, where you touch things and you can like discern the memories of objects. Unreal Life is pretty cool. You should play it. I've not finished it yet, but I've got confidence that it's going to stick the landing because it's been pretty strong. I've been wrong before, though. And who knows if that'll ever come up again. Anyway. Alright. No dice. All I can get from here is probably information about the student who used the desk last year. I'm unable to spot any information transmitted by that oddball girl. What is her name? Let's go home. All right, let's. My hands are tied, so I decide to do him a favor and go home with him. But then I find out he lives in a complete opposite direction. So we just part ways once we hit the school entrance. Since Shiraishi started shadowing my school days, my life seems to have taken an ominous turn. For one thing, why can't he use telepathy? While it's true that there's one out of 10,000 that are inherently incapable of HT development, there are still schools made for those kinds of people. With all due respect, if you can't use telepathy, then why can't you? Then you really can't take a class, can you? Hey Masako, are we planning for the weekend? An object's memory is basically telepathy, right? Huh? Oh yes. Do you mean the recording of HT data to an object? So that's why if you can't use telepathy, no memories will stay in the desk. Okay, I got it. Huh? So your plans? I don't got no stinking plans! Giving it some thought, there's no way the girl's information would be left there. She's had her gate closed off since the start of the new term, after all. April 10th, 2231. Yotsuba-san! Yotsuba-san! It's already noon. Mm-hmm. Yonsaba-san. Yeah. Sunday, and I wake up a little past noon. It's not like I had anything special planned, but only having half a day left in your Sunday is kind of sad. Sundays are the worst because I was just always like, I hated them because they were always boring. So it's just like, I kind of want to get it over with, but also once it's over with, the weekend's over. So it's like a double-edged sword. Sunday is like just the worst day. God, whoever invented it literally needs to be shot. I don't have much else to do, so I start to reach out, thinking about giving violin practice a try. Playing the violin? I quickly give up on that plan. Violin's really hard. Splash. I soak my hands in the canal in my room. A canal? You have a canal in your room? This is the weather for Sunday, April 10th. Today we'll see a continuation of clear skies from this morning. Big news! We'll be broadcasting live the day after tomorrow in the afternoon. When it's time, come to the canal, and I'm thinking of somehow making paella out of fried rice ingredients, but listen to the mysteries of the universe. Observe the flash of the universe. For a moment there, I was curious if there was anything interesting floating around, but it's just a bunch of hackneyed garbage in the water as you... Okay, so it's like... Okay, so canal... I literally could just look this up. Alright, let's do it. Let's go ahead. Let's go... Let's head on over to Glossary Town. Let's go, canal. Alright, here we go. The canal is an information medium installed all over the world for the purpose for easy and global usage of HT, most importantly, telepathy, a veritable telepathic network. Dipping your hand in the waters of the canal gives you access to telepathic communication with people all over the world. By the 22nd century, services hit every corner of the globe. The shape of canals differs from region to region, but the water that flows within is uniform across the world, conforming to the standards put in place by the WHO and WHTO. Okay, that's cool. Let's see, is there anything else here we wanted to maybe look up? Akashic phone. All right. We're going to take a little glossary break, all right? Little diversion. All right, so the Akashic phone, this refers to the tomes and details of scientific knowledge, culture, history before paradigm lost, as well as the science and history left on Earth afterwards. While it is unknown just how long it took to enumerate that much information, given the fact that it's said to be enough to fill up an entire city, then it's assumed it must have been continuously written for years upon years. The only things left to serve as a record of the Earth before paradigm lost are the books of the Akashic phone series. Every book circulating around the world is a copy of the original tomes, and there are currently versions that take it a step further and have digitized the data. One theory states that the original Akashic phones are stored in a city known as the Archive. The colors of the covers and the origin versions are all said to be a uniform shade of red. Okay. I think that's good. I think we've kind of... Gates, the organ, function, and or mechanism related to telepathy perceived to be in the human brain. When people make a telepathic transmission, both their gates must be open. Due to the phenomenon known as telepathy having a nature with which allows it to be recursively observed via telepathy itself, and while there is no clear explanation of how gates function, a rough estimate from observation of brainwaves and blood flow is that it ties somewhere into a part of the brain. It is assumed that life forms with brains and or nerve centers, such as animals, also possess gates, but it's theoretically impossible to prove that true or not. Okay. Hey, we got Gloomy Gus, a person with a gloomy personality, also used to refer to personality types who fixate on talking to AIs. We don't have Happy Harry, though. All right. I think that's good. I think that kind of gets us a little bit closer to understanding a few things. Canal was a weird one, but it's basically kind of just like, what if internet, but actually it's... what if the internet... but it's actually just water. Okay. The weather is really nice today, isn't it? The weather is really nice. I want to go outside now. I can smell the heat of the animals' runoff from the thawing snow and the cold winter air. You could see small grains of green in the damp, dark patches of brown. I randomly kick some snow. The soft sunlight diffuses and sparkles through the pieces of broken ice. How many times have I seen this scenery? A silver-colored world. This scenery, somewhere between hot and cold, is my symbol of spring. It's pretty. I like what they're doing with the backgrounds. Like, they're just kind of like normal pictures with like what looks like some light filtering, but they're using like non-traditional coloring. Like, none of this is right, so it's interesting. I'm not quite sure if that like means anything or if it's meant to be taken literal, but it's an interesting stylistic choice at least. Huh? What is this? What's with this screwdriver? It's screwdriver, sir. A run-of-the-mill Phillips head screwdriver pokes from under the snow. It doesn't look familiar. Is this your screwdriver, Yotsuba-san? No? I'm sure it looks familiar, I think. Should I analyze it? No. I'm so entranced by the screwdriver that whatever Masako is saying is coming back as white noise. In the meantime, I'll try linking with the screwdriver. There might be some memories left in it. An unfamiliar Phillips head. This is a weird thing to be fixated on, because like if I see a screwdriver in the street, I'm probably just gonna like pick it up, probably put it in my pocket because somebody's probably gonna drive over that, or maybe assess my surroundings and see if there's anybody standing outside. Like, hey, is this your weird screwdriver in the middle of the road? This is weird. If this was a flathead shaped like a minus, I probably would have just passed it by, but I just gotta have the Phillips head. But this Phillips head is shaped like a plus. That is the single solitary reason. It takes quite a while to draw out the info. The screwdriver hadn't been made as a storage medium, so it's much harder to read than a monolith. Even when I tried connecting with the desk the other day, it wasn't this slow. It's a matter of the materials. Is it a matter of the materials that the driver is composed of, or is it a matter of its shape? Either way, the fact that it's taking a while remains, and I have to continue to focus my senses on it. As I continue to patiently draw out the data, a single piece of scenery flashes in my mind. It's a familiar setting. Where could this be? Perhaps this is what the owner of the screwdriver saw? Oh. It's outside my house? Thinking about it, it makes perfect sense. He left the screwdriver here, after all. It doesn't seem like I'll be able to read anything other than some vague details from its sensory information. I'm unable to read any of its unformatted data. Whoa! This is the way I go home every day. From the front of the house, the scenery starts to slowly steadily rewind. The screwdriver's owner must have walked down this path as well. By the way, what's the season? Spring, huh? It's still pretty cold, though. It's probably the end of March. No way! Could it be... I thought... The owner is at a specific place. A Western-style house. It's an old hotel or something of the sort. It's a well-made structure for sure, but now it looks like more of an abandoned ruin than anything else. Still, I couldn't contain my surprise. Do people still come in and out of this place? Impossible. This is a scene I've never seen or heard before. Yet the scenery transitions to inside the Western-style house. It's so desolate, I feel unsettled. What kind of business did he even have in this rundown place? It's unnerving. As we rewind further, the noise appears to get louder. They seem to be descending the staircase. Eventually, there's nothing but noise and nothing is clear. Man, I bet like making this was a pain in the ass, especially that time lapse of going from one place to another. I've made visual novels before, and like that kind of stuff is tedious as shit. I had to do like a text message crawl that was like 56 images or something, and it was just, and like editing each one of those individually was such a pain, and like coding them each in, oh, it was a pain. Why does anybody care about that? Eventually there's nothing but noise and nothing is clear. Stop ripping off my visual novels. There's not much storage capacity in the screwdriver, and all the data, aside from the return trip to the Western-style house, has been pushed into thin air. That's as much as I can see. Although the part that concerned me was the interior of the abandoned house, I'm unable to discern who the owner of the screwdriver was doing. What the owner of the screwdriver was doing. Oh, right. I can still feel the unformatted data. While not as clear as useful documents and images, the atmosphere, aura, nuances, and other such ambiguous things that I can't understand are things that I'm still able to read. For example, if I was someone with a good sense, I could even understand something from that little. I'm sure my sense is decent. I clear my mind and carefully process the reading. What is this? Emptiness? No. Loneliness? No use. I don't think I can put it in words. Resignation? Frustration? Not quite right. It's a feeling I can't put my finger on. It's a feeling that's lacking something. It's a very important something. Even so, it's a sensation that's somehow relieving. I'm not really sure. What is this? A feeling when you forget something. What is this? I'm not too sure. Given that this feeling is kind of familiar, it's like someone is waving at me from a distant planet 100,000 light years away. But I don't know who it is. Something to that effect. By the time I notice, tears are rolling down my face. Although it's still cold, it's not so cold as to freeze my tears. I lick the wet drops near my lips for confirmation. It's a salty taste. I am human, and you are a drop. Spring, April, the air is still stiff and standoffish. Let's go to that Western house. Western house? Don't respond to every little thing I say to myself. Let's go take a look. I feel like there's something important about the screwdriver in the Western-style house. And we've arrived. The abandoned house stands ominously, and we'll find out what's in that abandoned house that is standing ominously the next time we're together. So thanks for tuning in. We'll be back with another one, probably soon, and I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.